to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. All right, day going. Hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling, y'all enjoying y'all day, and a productive day. We back at it. Before I start, make sure y'all smash the like button. Smash the like button. We're on the road to 10K subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Turn the post notifications on. Find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at VisualsLOE. Follow my TikTok at LOE.Visuals. And follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. So let's talk about it. So, Terence Crawford's coach, Bernie Davis, comes out and says, what's Terence Crawford asking price to see him fight again? And the number, astronomically high, $100 million. And am I mad at it? No. I mean, right now, the face of boxing is Terence Crawford. You know, he's coming off the most biggest win in boxing. So I think, you know, he's able to ask for what he wants to right now at this point. You know, he's sacrificed everything, you know, moving up. You know, it's no qualms from me, you know, seeing him ask for $100 million. You know, now, what I'll talk about later in the video is who did he get that $100 million from? Like, I mean, you know, as far as who do you fight? You know, that's going to be worth $100 million. That's going to be the issue Terence Crawford is dealing with, you know, because I don't think Turkey Al-Sheikh has an issue giving him the money to see him fight again, you know, especially coming off that big win. We don't want to see him just hang the gloves up after a big win like that, you know, because he's 38, but he's a young 38. You know, he's not out here smoking, drinking, partying every weekend. He's in the gym. So I can say he's a young 38. And I know it might sound crazy, but yeah, he has a lot left in the tank. And I still think he can go. You know, a lot of people aren't going to like him asking for $100 million. And might feel like he's pricing himself out to keep, you know, fighting certain guys, but it's his number. You know, Canelo said he wanted $150 million to fight Crawford, and he got it. You know, he wanted $200 million to fight David Benavidez. So, you know, why does Terence Crawford have to, you know, take pay cuts because, you know, he's not as notable as, you know, Canelo. He just beat Canelo. So I feel he should be able to get that number. You know, being that what he's done in the sport. I'm not opposed to him getting $100 million. Like, why not? After what he's done for the sport, you know, let's do it. Now the issue is, who do he fight for this $100 million? Like, you know, that's my issue. What fights we have to do to get $100 million? We might have to do some, you know, some crazy fights. It might have to be a David Benavidez fight. You know, because David has a, you know, Hispanic fan base. I know Hispanic fan base, you know, it can sell. Right now, do you fight Boots? I don't think Turkey gives Terence Crawford $100 million to fight Boots. You know, at 54, nobody moves the needle at 54 for Terence Crawford to, you know, make $100 million. I'm just trying to see, you know, stay with me. You know, it's nothing at 54 that's, you know, relegate him getting $100 million. Maybe, I wouldn't even say Fundora doesn't sell well enough to produce that type of money. So, you know, Crawford is going to have to really, you know, lock in and discuss his options to keep fighting. But maybe Turkey Al-Sheikh can just give him the money, you know. I could see him potentially fighting Charlo. I think that would do well, in my opinion. You know, you just needed Charlo to kind of stay active, you know, get back in the ring. That could be, you know, a situation. But then again, you know, does Charlo really move the needle? I mean, the selling point you would have is, I mean, he's been in there with Crawford, Canelo, but kind of laid down in there with Canelo. So, I mean, we kind of pretty much know what would happen in the fight with Crawford and Jermell Charlo. So, I mean, I'm for Crawford getting his money. You know, get your bag, but it's gonna have to be one of those fights that, you know, you may not want to take. Dimitri Bivol, David Benavidez, something like that. You might not want to take the fight, but if you want this type of compensation, you know, it's gonna have to be there because, you know, Crawford isn't a guy that just, you know, builds up super press conferences and talk a lot of trash and get a lot of. He's more of a my skills are gonna get me, you know, get the attention on me. So that's a dilemma he's facing. You know, he's not a super mega star where he can just carry a promotion, you know, on his back. He needs a dance partner. So, you know, maybe if, you know, who knows, you know, it's a lot of variables, you know. If Keith Thurman can somehow beat Fundora, I mean, you could possibly seal that. But, you know, Keith Thurman's going to make the negotiations very difficult. You know, he's going to come in like he's the A-side and he's the guy, he's the face. You know, he's going to make it seem like he's, you know, Keith Thurman got woman delusion. So I can see that being an issue. But, you know, I mean, if Keith Thurman can somehow pull off a win against Fundora, I don't see why not do that. So, you know, in my opinion, I'm for him getting the money. I just don't know the options. What options are, you know, going to be beneficial for him to get $100 million? So, you know, that's the situation he's faced with. I still think, you know, he deserves the money. I'm not saying that. I just don't know, you know, is Turkey Al-Sheikh going to be able to give it to him, you know, pause, give it to him, you know, pause again, provide the money for, you know, him to just fight a average, you know, regular fighter. You know, to get $100 million, you got to be fighting the top echelon. And, you know, right now the top echelon is a lot of guys that's bigger than Terence Crawford. You know, Bivol is bigger than Terence Crawford. David Benavidez is bigger than Terence Crawford. So, but I think, you know, those guys, I think Bivol coming off of back surgery. I don't know if Bivol can still make 68, but he was willing to come down to 68 for Canelo Alvarez. And Terence Crawford has, you know, all those titles now. So, I mean, I don't know if it's back healthy enough, but, you know, David Benavidez, he already kind of turned down the option to fight, you know, Terence Crawford. So that's not a case. But money couldn't change his mind. But one of those guys are going to have to be the fight for Terence Crawford to get the money he's looking for. One of those guys are going to have to be the fight. But, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. On the road to 10K subscribers, hit the subscribe button. Turn on post notifications. Don't find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at VisualsLOE. Follow my TikTok at LOE Visuals. Follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. I love you guys so much, so much, so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I'm out.